יפה לראות אותך.
ראית את התמונה שלך כבר עוד לא?
עוד לא איפה זה?
שלום, שלום.
שלום, מה נשמע?
טוב מאוד, תודה.
שלום לכולם, אנחנו עוד...
The repercussions of, well, the year, first of all, everyone who went on that has to think, what would I have done if I weren't here? Okay? Okay? I mean, for all intents and purposes, it could have been in Hawaii, okay? But it was here in Israel. And we lived it.
נו, זירו בסמוזה.
אבל העברית של טלי.
We got 20?
I've seen that pen all these years. I never.
Don't remember.
Be careful. I think it's open. I don't want to.
Machsan. That's, wait a second. Wasn't the Machsan the storage room in the
They had
stairs?
every type of machzan. The machzan was underneath all, but where they kept school supplies.
There was no electricity in our dorm room.
We had.
So there was a light, but there wasn't a place to plug in.
We had no plug?
So I went to the hardware store in Netanya and I got some wire and a plug. And I climbed up in the attic when nobody was there. And I dropped a hole so that we had a plug in the closet. It lasted about 2 months until they found out about it.
Three words I don't believe we knew before we arrived. The most important word, the word you heard most often was balagan. Hey, is that balagan?
Varda.
David, Varda, how did you describe her as a
Oh man, I can't say that word.
white tornado? And speaking of Varda, she was to be standing in the Chadar Ochel in the dining lounge, and we'd all, then she'd just take a stance and she would say, Ish lo mekabel. Not a soul is going to receive any food. Ish lo mekabel. And we learned many, but the third phrase we learned was Eza Yofi. How great, how beautiful, how wonderful. And it was a wonderful year.
What you said really made me think that I should say something, which is similar to what you just said about when I was living in Winnipeg. I didn't feel part of the Jewish community. I mean, I knew I was Jewish and we celebrated holidays together and stuff, but I never really felt part of a community, especially the Jewish community. And then when I came here, just like you, it was suddenly I was Jewish and everybody was Jewish, and it was such an embrace. And I could just be Jewish without having to do anything, just be, and just be myself. And it was just an overwhelming sense of family, and belonging and ease, and it was just crazy. I mean, it made me who I am today. I mean, all these years later, I am who I am because of my experience here when I was 14, 15. So I am ever so grateful that I had this experience, and just seeing everybody today.
But just to evoke in our own minds that here we are celebrating 50 years since our joint experience. 50 years ago was less than 25 years after the Holocaust and after the State of Israel came into existence. And we need to think that the people who were our teachers, this was a tremendous work of hope for them to work with children. And I know that I took a lot away from that place of hope, a place that lived and breathed hope. But I think Hadassim has always symbolized hope and promise. And I thank you all. I'm very happy to have been.
Say that again.
Nice to meet you. I say you. Oh, you were heard in here. I would just say.
That's him.
Shalom. I was his teacher
God,
in
there's my
Arenson.
Louder, we don't hear you.
Don't hear me, so listen. So, famous last words. Remember in the class? That was one, okay, I'll go back to the class. The class, one of the things people had to learn was mutual respect. And that, believe it or not, the same problems today, people don't listen. They're old. I still maintain that taste of success is the secret for further success. Remember that. That kind of taste of success is...
Taste of success.
How do you say that in Hebrew, Lisa?
Tam ha'atzlacha.
Brings on further success. And this is what I want to instill in the class. And that's what I believed in up to today. You give a person a taste of success, he knows no end to it. And that you can teach my grandchildren, and I taught my grandchildren also. I'm getting a bit excited here because I remember all your faces when you were trying to be smart. It was again a great privilege having taught by you, and I say having taught by you, and I learned a lot of you because you were all energetic. Okay, that's it.
Birth. First year of my life that I was happy, that I was accepted, that I had friends, food was good. I grew 6 inches in that year. And I never felt at home anywhere else. Going back to Canada, I just felt totally as an outsider. I never went back to school. I came back here within 2 years. And I've just been here ever since.
Cigarettes. Yeah, time. And we used to hide behind here after the school hours.
Or during.
Or during. Yeah.
When was the...
Ba'anfi.
You know, it really opened my eyes, and I learned a lot. And Joe, I give you full credit for helping us through the year, and going back home, got full credit for grade 10. And also for me, being here changed the course of my life. I married Tiki, and my soulmate, met her in Vancouver, and then so 50 years later, I can say that my roots run very deep in Israel, and I have Hadassim to thank for that, and all of you. So.
ושם היה הכדורגל, ומאחורי זה כל הפרדסים.
ראית שנכנסת שאין פרדסים?
בטח.
שהיינו הולכים ברגל, היה מלא פרדסים. אבל שם, שם, כן, זה בית הספר דמוקרטי. הם הזכירו אותם.
By that is, before I came to Hadassim, I had to go to school 5 days a week. And when I went home, I only had to go to school 5 days a week. And that was the same sort of thing. And it changed my life throughout, in big ways, little ways, but it was all through my perception of what I had learned and what I had.
I want to first start off by saying thank you, Joe. Ishkat, if it wasn't for you being a great teacher, we would have a terrible time. A good time. I also came from Winnipeg. Like where Pam and I grew up, it was like a half Jewish community. I always felt very Jewish. I just came from a very Zionist family. I was very Zionist. And coming here was just a great year. We all bonded. We're still
And that was, but one thing led to another, But hopefully we all feel that at 14 years old, when we came here, it broadened our perspective. It gave us a view on life and a start on life, that there was no boundaries. It's a shame that more children don't have this opportunity, because I don't think we realize just how lucky we are to have been here and how amazing the opportunity and the things are.
We came here to say Shechiyanu v'kimanu v'giyanu l'zman hazeh.
Amen.
So many times I did not believe that this would actually happen. And all I can say is thank God to Julia.
Hey,
Thank God to Esther.
Comes Esty and Tessa.
And most in Kabochem, there's no one unlike you. You're so B'tei Avon, everybody.
But I think that I have such vivid memories, really, of the entire year. The dorm and the friends and the school and, you know, everything is just so rich in my mind. You know, I just feel like I could describe it like it was yesterday. And it was very impactful for me on a lot of different levels, both being away from home for a year. I mean, I think that was huge at the age of 14 and a half or 15, already then. And so when I got here, it was like, wow, you know, this feels really right. And, you know, I think it stayed with me. And my whole life after that had major Israel influences in it, to the point where, you know, we made Aliyah 11 years ago, thank God, and we've been here, and it's been wonderful for us. It's part of me and part of who I am, I think, to this day. So I'm so happy that this all happened.
And I said, what is the connection with the picture and you? And he said, this is our group, the group that we want to meet in Israel. So, and he said that he's here and so on. So I said to him, Rabbi Zen, you are on my every day. Right. And he said, what are you studying? So I said also, and then I explained that this picture is in my office, on my head.
Over your head.
Over my head. When I sitting, it's because I didn't know, there is no sign that this is in Hadassim. No sign.
And there's no sign that they're not the Israelis.
Also, Nachon, you are right.
Yeah.
So when he said, I said, oh, this is, now I can say this picture of BG, of Ben Gurion, it's here and in Hadassim. And it was very, very exciting.
First and second grade, there were a lot of Jews. After that, never more than 5 Jews in any school I ever went to. Never more than 5. I always felt out of place. And a Jewish person can have a very sharp way of speaking in the home, and that didn't go over well in school. And I came here, and I felt completely comfortable and at home from the very first second. And it did tremendous amount for my esteem and confidence that I'm part of the group, I'm okay, and it was tremendous. And all of a sudden, I'm like a grown-up human being. And I know that it's an unusual experience in this group to be growing up without Jewish people. I went to a high school with 1,700 people. There weren't 10 Jews in it, except for this year of high school. And you guys, just by being yourselves, you didn't do anything special in your own minds, but it was a tremendous chizuk to me. Do we say chizuk?
Yeah. Strengthening.
And you know, like, you don't even know you did something, and thank you for having done it. And God bless you all. God bless me too.
Can you see everybody's face?
No.
Do I need to move anybody?
I will,
I'm getting it, you know?
Rabbi!
Blow the whistle!
Guys, look at me.
Still 1, 2, 3, say Hadassim.
One moment. One moment. Yeah, you can see everyone. That's amazing. And